This is our big start of the year webinar. Thank you everybody for joining us. Woohoo! 2021 Marketing for Senior Care Businesses, what's working now and into the future. I'm going to do this one more time just to make sure. If you can hear my voice and see my screen, both things, please raise your hand. Just hit, oh yeah. I see lots of hands raised. Good. So I know we're not doing anything wrong here. Okay, I'm going to lower all the hands. Good, I'm good. I'm good. All right, if you have questions or if you have comments, what we're going to do is take all the questions at the very end. So in your little dashboard there's a Q&A section. If you will go to that Q&A section and take a look at it, that's great. There's nothing there right now, I don't believe. You can go in there and ask a question anytime. I wouldn't wait till the end because I'm going to take them in the order received. So if you come across a slide and you think, man, I have a question about that, go ahead and enter your question there. And then when we get to the end, I will go through all the questions and I'll answer as many of them as I can, as fast as I can. All right, so here we go. 2021. Boy, aren't we glad it's 2021, and hopefully all of our craziness, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Vaccines are going around. Woohoo! So let's talk about what's working now and into the future. I think we have learned a few things from this last year that are going to serve us well into our future as senior care and home care marketers. So I'm hoping that if you haven't, I know pivoting, the word pivot is overused, but if you haven't pivoted, that you will continue to think about making a stronger case for yourself and your business on social media and on online marketing. Because I can tell you that in a situation like we're in right now and have been since March of last year, people are using their screen time more than ever to find solutions to their problems. And if you're not on that screen or they can't find you, you're losing business every single day. So please, please, please take your online presence very seriously. All right, everything we talk about today can be done by you or your team. So I'm not going to tell you anything that's rocket science, and I'm not going to tell you anything that's impossible for you to do. But you got to ask yourself, will I take these actions by myself? Really? Really? Do I have the time? What is my time worth? Because your time is valuable. I have to be reminded of that all the time. All the time. My time is valuable. My time has a dollar amount associated with it. And we tend to undervalue our own time. So your time is worth a lot of money in your business. And so do you have the time to do the stuff I'm about to talk about? And is it cheaper to hire someone else to do these tasks for you? And I'm going to say chances are it is. So having said all of that, we are going to move forward with our little presentation here today. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Valerie Van Boeven. I'm a registered nurse. And we're going to talk about the little history of our company here real quick. What I'm talking about today, everything I'm about to talk about are things that we do for our clients all day long, every day for 13 years. It's changed a lot over the last 13 years, but you're talking to a nurse who's been in your shoes, who has marketed, who has been in the field, who understands your challenges with recruiting, your challenges with marketing, your challenges with in-person networking. We are not new to this business. We are not folks that just entered into this business. We're not folks that have done 2 websites for home care agencies. We have done hundreds of websites and we have hundreds of clients, and we take this very, very seriously. And so I just want you guys to know that our focus for our clients is on getting more leads and conversions. It's a combination of many, many things. And we're also very focused on automation. Not everything can be automated. Your personal touch is really important, but if you can automate some things, that helps you save time and helps get people to you faster. So that is part of what we're going to talk about today, making things move a little bit faster in your world. Testimonials and reviews. I'm a big believer and a big fan of testimonials and reviews for our clients, but also for ourselves. We have 50 plus reviews. Many of them are video reviews. You can watch them. They're short videos. If you want to see those, you can go to asnmarketingplan.com and then look at the testimonials page or /testimonials. Here are a few of the testimonials. They're just little snippets of testimonials that we've taken from the website. Those testimonials are all over our website on the homepage, but they're also many, many more on our actual testimonials page. So if you have any questions about the validity of our services or what I'm about to tell you today, please take a look at those testimonials, because we wouldn't be here without our clients. And we value their time and their business very much. All right, let's talk about the senior care lead process a little bit. And this is something you all probably know, but we have folks that come in at the very top of the funnel, at the top of this triangle here. And we know that people are kind of on the sidewalk. I call it the sidewalk versus the fast lane of the highway kind of a strategy. They come in and they're kind of on the sidewalk. They're sensing there's an upcoming challenge. They're researching options. They know their parents are getting older. Maybe someone's taken a fall, but it's not that serious. Or maybe somebody's got, diabetes, or maybe some heart issues, but nothing really acute has happened just yet. And they're searching on Google and websites and Facebook and asking friends, hey, I don't know about mom. Boy, we could use some advice. I think, she might need a little help. Not sure, whatever. So they're kind of on the sidewalk and they're testing the waters. These are where lots of families come into play. A lot of people are out there. You need to be visible. Your website needs to be visible at this point. And then as we get further down the funnel, people start to have situations where things are getting serious. And mom's taken another fall, or maybe she's had a stroke, but she can still stay in her own house. And they're talking to medical professionals. They're doing more website researching. Now they're calling the folks that they can find or who they've been referred to, or they've done a search online, or they visited a website, and they're making phone calls to get a little bit more information. And then we have people that are at the bottom of this funnel who are the serious, I'm not tire kicking anymore. I am in crisis. I need to implement services now. Mom's being discharged from the hospital tomorrow. She fell again for a third time. We've had to have EMS pick her up twice. And now we know that she can no longer live alone. So we have people in all of these stages. At the top here, they're kind of on the sidewalk. They're like, eh. And in the middle, I know my mouse just loves to change the slide. In the middle, they're kind of entering the freeway. They're starting to get serious. So they go from the sidewalk to the highway, and now boom, in the crisis, they're in the fast lane and they're moving fast, and everything in their life is moving fast. So we have people in all of these stages in the senior care lead process, and they're coming to you in all of these stages. And the most important thing you can do for yourself right now is to make sure you're visible in all of the stages of this process. So what I'm going to talk about today helps you be visible in all these places. So let's keep going. Current marketing strategies and challenges. Right now, the most important strategy, I'm going to have to get rid of people talking to me. The current marketing challenges, COVID. Everybody's sick of COVID. We're all sick of COVID. Sick with it, sick of it. We're all sick of it. But anyway, it is an issue, and it's been an issue, and you have little to no ability to network in person. And that has to do with your referral sources, which are really important to you. And I know that. It is challenging. It is not overcome. It's not something you can't overcome. It is overcomable, this challenge. And I have seen our clients do a fabulous job of overcoming these issues, and you can too. No excuses. You can reach out to your network. You can reach out to referral sources, referral partners. If you're new, you can reach out to new referral partners. There are ways to do that. You just have to get creative and spend a little time. I call it sweat equity. You got to get out there. You got to be the streets. You can't go in, but you can make yourself known in very fun ways. So we're going to talk about we know there are marketing challenges. Online marketing is getting more competitive as the months pass. So when COVID happened, everybody went, in March, and then everybody started calling and saying, our website needs to be different. We need to go to ads. We need to blah, 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 blah. Everybody's freaking out about getting online. And that has not stopped. We have not stopped taking calls and getting new clients who know since March of last year that they need to up their game for their online marketing. And they have successfully done that since March of last year. So where it was important before, When a pandemic hits, apparently it is the most important thing because it is your calling card. It is the thing that gets people to pick up the phone. So online marketing has gotten more competitive, but it's also very much more important than it was before. So please take your online marketing very seriously. I would also say that my observation is that Google Ads are getting more expensive. There is more competition online. Everybody's got Google Ads rolling, and it is getting more expensive. And we have lots and lots of clients that have us do their Google ad campaigns for them, which is great. But the budget that they probably need is definitely increased over the last year. Not because we want their budget to increase, but because their competition is also doing Google Ads. So everything has kind of gone up a little bit. Does it work? Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Is it something that everybody can afford? Yeah, maybe not, but it's worth a try. Absolutely. I've not always been a big fan of Google Ads. If you've heard me give this speech, I will say I do not recommend Google Ads for home care. But in this environment, what else are you going to do? Well, there's a lot of things you can do, but Google Ads is working pretty well. Okay, so what should your focus really be right now? What should you be focusing on if you had to say, okay, give me just a few things I need to do right now to fix my online presence or to get better with what I already have? My number one recommendation is to fix your janky website. If your website is janky and you know who you are, sorry, fix it. Get a real website. Unless it's not janky. And if you have a beautiful, awesome website, I know beautiful is not as important as functional, actually. If it's great and you love it, don't fix it. But if it's janky, if you're not getting leads to your website, if you're not getting inquiries, if it's not doing anything for you, if you can't find yourself online, and when you do, if your website doesn't look nearly as nice as some of the other people that you see out there because it was built 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 7 years ago, fix your website because people are looking at it. And if they see Jank Store and then they see Neiman Marcus, they're probably going to go to Neiman Marcus website versus Jank Store. It's just the way it is. No one should be judging a book by its cover because you might be the best home care agency in town and you've never had to worry about your website. But that is not what the person who's never heard of you before understands. They understand who's taking care, who's got broken images on the homepage of their website, who's got links that don't work, who's got stuff that doesn't make any sense, or it doesn't look good on mobile, or it's missing something, or it looks weird like it was built by cousin Larry 500 years ago. They know that because they look at websites all day. So up your game with your online marketing, and this whole presentation is going to take you through that. Get creative with community outreach. Get creative. Our clients are always doing this in so many ways. What's interesting is we have all these clients across the country, and we have a very large group of those clients, that's not everybody, that send us company news every month. And I love reading their company news because their company news tells us and all of their people that we're sending out their newsletter to what they've been doing. And there are some folks who have been doing some amazing things, amazing stuff. They're not sitting around moping because COVID. They are out there doing parades and giving flowers to seniors, leaving them on their doorsteps, and giving a dozen roses to the local assisted living facility to hand out to people so that they know somebody loves them. And I mean, it is crazy what people are doing, and it's with a kind heart and with a giving heart that they're doing all these things, and it's amazing stuff. And you can do that kind of stuff too. There is no reason why you can't be reaching out to people. Even though you can't go in that assisted living, even though you can't go in that nursing home, you can still let the staff know you care. So no excuses. I've seen it. I've watched our home care agencies. You can honor your caregivers every single day by doing something nice for them, or every month by doing something nice. You can have a caregiver of the month. There are so many things you can do for your staff and your community that you just got to get creative and get to work. Get creative with that referral outreach. I just said that. And do not disappear. Continue to engage wherever you can and whenever you can. So clamming up and disappearing and thinking, well, I'm getting leads from my website. No. Come out from behind that website and post on Facebook and send out a newsletter and Reach out via email to your referral sources and go knock on their door and leave them a little goodie basket. I don't care. Just do something that lets them know you're thinking about them, you care about them, and you know they're just as brave as your caregivers are. And your caregivers are definitely brave for doing what they do all year long. So that's your focus. Fix your website, increase your marketing game, your online marketing game, and get creative with your community outreach. Those are the 3 things that will help your business grow and thrive into 2021. And I would say this, from now on, a lot of screen time is going to be happening in our world for all kinds of different reasons, whether we like it or not. You may not like screen time, but some people are going to be not trusting in-person networking for a really long time. So screen time is where it's at. Get comfortable with using Zoom like I'm doing right now. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. I do this all day. Get a Zoom account and start having conversations with people that are in your market. You can do it. You can do it. All right. Let's talk about elements for success in this world of online marketing. There are many. So I talked about your website being important. Content is also important. Your keywords, social media, traffic, referrals, lead capture, lead follow-up, reputation, citations, retargeting, and landing pages. All of these things are so important. So we're going to break it down like section by section and tell you what you can do and what can be done for you if you don't have that kind of time. So we're going to start with websites and SEO and just show you some basic things that you can do or have your web developer do, or reach out to us for help if you need to with your websites. Okay, so the important things about websites right now and into the future are your design and your SEO, search engine optimization, your content that's on your website, the keyword phrases that you choose, the traffic that you get, how you capture leads, and your lead follow-up. If you don't have a good lead follow-up strategy, meaning someone fills out a form on your website or they make a call to your office, and then what happens? Does somebody drop the ball? Does anybody follow up with them instantly? Some people are on this, like amazingly on this. And some people are like, yeah, I should probably follow up with that. So you got to be on it. You got to be on it every step of the way and beyond every step of the way. Okay, so let's talk about that. Benefits of an up-to-date website, meaning it was not built 3 years ago or 5 years ago. It was built within the last 2 years at a minimum. Better SEO, because things change tremendously in the world of building websites. Believe me when I say we do this every single day, and our strategies have changed, and the strategies we use for our clients have changed, and how we build websites has changed. The servers that they're on have changed even this year, and that is a big task to change your clients' servers. We have now everybody on a big fast server. Better SEO, faster speeds, aesthetically pleasing, fast on mobile. I'm going to show you an example of that. Easy to navigate. You do not need a clutter of clutter on your website. You need white spaces. Okay. It needs to be easy to navigate, clean, easy on the senior eye, easy on the 40-something eye who's looking at it. I just don't make me think. Give me your phone number or have me fill out a form. I don't care about the rest. I might read it, but I probably won't. Tell me how to get a hold of you. And then lead capture. Again, phone number and form, phone number and form. Those are the only 2 things you really care about. Make your phone ring or have people fill out forms. Make it easy on people to find those things. Here are my recommendations from 13 years of experience. And I know some of you are going to disagree, and that's okay. This is just my gig. Use WordPress. Please use WordPress. Use a developer with a proven track record, whoever that is. Use a developer in your market segment, in your vertical, in your niche, senior care. Use a developer who has longevity in the business. And the reason I give you these recommendations is because people come to us when their developer disappears. Yes. Do not use Cousin Larry, your friend, or a random guy from a networking event. They will get tired of messing with you and your website and answering your questions, and they will not respond to you. No Wix, no Weebly, no Squarespace, no Marketing 360. We've rescued people from all of these. Please don't go there. I get it. If you're a startup, absolutely. Do what you got to do. If you've been in business for over a year and you are in a place where you have clients and you have caregivers and you're making some money, please up your game and don't continue down this road with these kinds of websites. You cannot transfer these websites to another hosting provider. You can't. You can copy and paste the content, which takes a long time and a lot of money, but you cannot take your files and walk away. It will not happen. How many home care websites have they built? Ask them. If it's 3, all right. Get samples and check speed at GTmetrix. So gtmetrix.com, there's a lot of places you can do this. They are not the end game, but GTmetrix is easy to remember for me. So I always say, hey, go to GTmetrix and check the speed of your website. Once you get there, you can figure that out. A good salesperson does not make a good web developer. Just because somebody is a fast talker and they're really great at what they say and they have 3 websites to show you, that does not mean that they're an excellent developer. A good web developer does not make a good SEO person. You need to have more than one person on your team that does stuff like this. So SEO and web development, although they go together, most web developers are not SEO people. Most SEO people are not web developers. I know that's crazy, but it's true. So probably somebody with more than one person on their team is a great idea. You get what you pay for. There are no $99 websites or $299 websites that will serve your business well. So this is from 13 years of experience. This is what people come to us with and what people need to be rescued from and what people are sometimes in the moment going to lose their website because somebody did something wrong or somebody didn't take it seriously or didn't pay a bill or whatever the case, or they can't get their files, and we come to the rescue for them. So please, please, please be careful when you pick a web developer. That's my recommendation. All right, target market. You are targeting, right, the adult children of the aging parent and sometimes a senior, depending on how old they are. And maybe they're calling in for a spouse, or they're a senior themselves, but they still have aging parents who are alive that need help. Family members of persons needing care, and potential and existing referral sources. 60 to 70% of new business for current clients. So you get a lot of business from those referral sources. So that's why I say, as this year goes on, please don't give up on those referral sources. Act like nothing ever happened. You cannot go in. That's okay. You can get creative and find out ways to really reach out to them. And let's think about it this way. How do prospects really find you? If they're on social media, they go to your website to look at you and investigate you and see more about you. So your website's important there. If you're running paid ads, they're probably going to go to a landing page or your website. So they're going to see your website. First thing they're going to see. Organic traffic, if they search for you and they find you organically, they type in a keyword phrase and then you pop up there somewhere in the first page or so, they're going to go to your website and see what you look like compared to everybody else who's on the first page. Your referral sources, all the time, go to your website, not only because they need your phone number, but because they Google your name because they can't remember your phone number. But they look at your website because, this is, as a discharge planner, this is me referring this family onto somebody that I hope I can trust. And if I've not used you before, I'm going to take a hard look at your website. If you have a consistent e-newsletter that goes out every month, and this is not dead, this is probably a 10% increase in revenue every year. If you actually do this every month without fail, those people go straight to your website to look at your website or read an article on your website or learn more on your website. And then community outreach. Every time you do community outreach, you host something, you participate, you sponsor, whatever you're doing in your community to reach out and say, hey, we're here. We support you, community. We know our seniors need this, that, and the other. When people see that, they're going to go visit your website and find out who that sponsor is. So your website in every single way is very important to the growth of your business. So please take that seriously and make sure that it is up to date. All right. So things that you should test and things that you can do. So professionally designed website, search engine optimized. You can learn about it yourself, do it yourself if you want to. You should have some technical support by your current web developer or whoever you choose. Your website should be mobile ready and responsive, optimized for speed. If you look at this speed test, this is what I was talking about on GTmetrix. The website you see at the top of this page is the same website at the bottom of the page. So you have Elite Senior Home Care, And then if you do a speed test, and this is not a speed test, if you look at the picture, that's a mobile device that we're speed testing. So we're not speed testing what it looks, how fast it is on desktop. Of course, that's important, but you know where everybody is, right? They're on their phones. So we're testing the speed on a mobile device here. And that's kind of the tail of the tape. You need to have under 3 seconds, hopefully. And if you don't, there's some things that you can do or your web developer can do to increase that speed. So if you're not under 3 seconds, it is fixable, chances are. So you need to talk to your web developer about that. But this one loads in 1.4 seconds. You can see it's getting an A grade for performance and structure. And that is what we look for when we build a new website. It doesn't have to be a complicated website. It just needs to be one that when Google sees this kind of performance and structure, it says, this is a great job. I am okay with highlighting this website. I'm okay with this one rising to the top because it's not giving, Google is saying this, Google is saying it's not giving my searcher a bad experience. Google wants a really good experience. And things you can do to enhance the power of your website are blog and content writing, which you can hire out. You don't have to do it yourself. Just don't hire somebody from another country whose English is not their first language. It is obvious to the reader right off the top. If you're in the United States of America or Canada, please hire someone in the United States or Canada. English must be their first language. I have experience, 13 years. Custom monthly newsletters for clients and their families. Please do a monthly newsletter. It does really make a difference. Client referral forms. You can have job boards, career pages. You should be getting Google Analytics and social metric reports, professionally managed social media. If you can do that, if you can manage your social media yourself. I always recommend to people they consider ADA accessibility. Every single person who comes to your website either is disabled in some way themselves or has a family member who is disabled. So ADA accessibility is really important for your website. And then there's all kinds of opportunities for chat. In this day and age, you can pay for like a little software as a service to give you some chat on your website. We offer to all of our clients websites for free. But you can get chat at a pretty low cost. I would recommend adding that. It's just another way for people to connect with you really quick. Okay, websites that close the client. Just so you have an idea of what that looks like. Here is a website we recently did for a client. And what I'm pointing out with my little arrows is our clear call to actions, professional imagery, lead capture, and mobile responsive. So what you can't see is that this is a video. And even with that video, it's just a looping video. It's a grandpa and a grandson. He's just kind of swinging them around there. It's really cute. And it's just a looping video, and it's really still a really fast website. There are tricks that you can do to get the website fast, even with a looping video. I'm not saying that everybody really needs to do this. An image is fine, but this is kind of a video. That's why it looks a little weird there. So you can see find care near you. You can see on mobile, this is the mobile version. Instantly, there are phone numbers and their service area listed. Instantly on the desktop version, there are service areas and phone numbers listed. And then this is also where you should start with your content. You should make sure you have a blog, SEO, articles, social media. Your newsletter should be made up of your blog posts. And of course, reputation management. So this is a great lead capture website. They get forms filled out all the time. All somebody has to do is click on find care near you or pick up the phone and call one of these phone numbers. That's really all we want somebody to do is fill out a form or call a phone number. Every single one of these arrows is pointing to a call to action. We want these folks to go to these pages so that they can take an action. And the action we want them to take is to read more. But actually, we want them to fill out a form or make a phone call. So on every page they go to, they can fill out a form or make a phone call. And that's what we want to express to them over and over again, that they have that opportunity. We're not hiding our phone number at the bottom of the website. We're not hiding it on the contact us page. It's at the top of every page all the time. So those are some of the things that you can pass on to your web developer and have them maybe work on with you. Or if you're in the market for a new website, we would love it if you would talk to us. But you can always jazz up your current website with some of these items. I would say phone number and location or territory that you serve right at the top of your website is super important. Content and social media. Let's talk about what you can do. Content and social media are a combination of content, keywords, social media, traffic, referrals, lead capture, and lead follow-up. All right. The first piece of content is blog posting. So you don't have to write a blog post every week or every day. I write a lot of blog posts for our company, and trust me when I say sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't look at this anymore. And so if I'm feeling that way, and it's like my whole 100% job, I know you're feeling that way because you do not write content for a living. So you can hire it out. You do not have to write it yourself. If you're going to go to freelancer.com, oh gosh, don't go to fiverr.com. Trust me when I say do not go to fiverr.com to get content. It will be written by someone who does not speak English as their first language. So if you go to Freelancer, if you go to one of those places, that's totally fine. Just make sure you vet who they are. Odesk is another one, or Upwork. I'm sorry, it's now Upwork. You can find writers. You can find writers in a lot of places, or you can hire a service. We offer that service. There's other places that offer that service. We have professional writers who have been with us for years, and they write our blog posts for us. And what we do is when we get that blog post, and it could be content about anything. It could be about, something like usually like February coming up is National Heart Month. It is, I don't know what else is it, diabetes, some kind of diabetes month, maybe. We got Valentine's Day in there. We have a few other things thrown in there. February is kind of a fun month. So our writers write about some of those fun things that are happening during that month. And what our client managers do is then when they get that article, they add in your local area. We serve the following areas, and they add in some keyword phrases. So it doesn't look weird, but it's definitely readable, and it definitely illustrates where it is that you service. And that is a great search engine optimized blog post. The image that is used is search engine optimized. The links, the internal links are linking. The blog post itself has a link to another page inside the website. Internal linking is important. They're 100% unique content. So we don't take one blog post or one piece of content that a writer writes and give it to 50 or 100 different clients. No, we buy probably 600 or 700, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, 600 or 700 articles a month, so that all of our clients have a unique article on their website every single month, twice a month. You are the authority and you are the expert. So when we blog post for you, it's in your name. You're the expert. You're the person. You're the trusted authority, the trusted provider of senior care. And that's how you should do it too. Whether you write it or you hire somebody else to write it for you, blog post that in your name so that you are the person they trust. You are the person they're going to call, your agency, your location, your home care agency or assisted living facility, and they're trusting you because you are going to take care of their mom or dad. So make sure that those blog posts are put up on your website in your name. If you need to read them first, then read them first. But after you trust your writers, after a while, you're probably pretty good with whatever they put up there. I would suggest 2 blog posts a month or 4, 2 to 4. You don't have to go crazy. If you mix in some of that educational content with that you can hire out to have written, you can also put in some company news. So Caregiver of the Month, anything you've done out in your community, anything you've supported over the last 30 days, maybe it's the Alzheimer's Association, maybe you volunteered for something. We've got a lot of people turning in content about getting their vaccinations, them and their staff, taking pictures of everybody getting their vaccinations. People love that stuff. So add in a little bit of personality on top of that education. And then you can set your website up so that your blog posts go out to LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, wherever you want. That's a kind of a behind the scenes setup that we do for everybody. And I know your web developer could do it for you too. And you need to have a keyword plan. So most of our clients don't know what that is. And I'm not going to go into real big depth, but basically you take all the towns that you service, or let's think in terms of your top 10 towns. We always ask our clients, what are the top 10 areas that you service? And I know that's hard because many of you service like 100 places or 200 towns or whatever. It depends on how big you are and how much you service. And you want to say counties too, and that's okay, but kind of narrow it down to the top 10 towns. Think about it this way. If I live in St. Louis, Missouri, and my mom lives in Philadelphia, I am not going to know maybe, and if I didn't grow up there, I'm probably not going to know I may not know what county that is, but I know her mailing address, and her mailing address is Philadelphia, PA. So I'm going to look for, even though you all who live there know that's really big, I'm going to go home care in Philadelphia, or I might narrow it down to a town in the suburbs. But I'm going to use a town name. I might even use a zip code. Whoop. Boy, my mouse is so sensitive. So pick some towns and service areas that are big for you and that you either do get clients from or you want to get clients from. And then marry those up with some well-researched senior care, home care keywords. I will tell you that home care in St. Louis or home care in St. Charles, Missouri would be a good one for me if I owned a home care agency. But home health aid, St. Louis, is not a good keyword phrase for me. And if you haven't worked in this industry for 13 years, you wouldn't know that. The reason I know that is because typically, not always, but typically, if someone types that in, they're looking for what? A job. So I don't want those people. I do want those people, but that's not what the purpose of my blog post is. I want to reach out to the consumer, not to the job seeker, right? So the word home health aid isn't really going to get me where I need to be. But oftentimes we go to look at a website for somebody who isn't our client yet, and I see it's search engine optimized for home health aid all over the place. And then, or home care job, it's search engine optimized for the words home care job, the whole website. And so I asked them, well, why would they pick those words? And the person will tell me, well, because Google says that that's the most searched keyword phrase in our industry. Of course it is, because you have so many job seekers, but that is not what you're looking for. So if you're working with folks who are not in this industry, you're going to run into some challenges where they're relying on Google to tell them something that we all know not to be true. So be careful about that, but take some well-researched home care, senior care words that match your business type and marry them up with the town. So it's home care in St. Louis home care, those kinds of things. And then when you write a blog post, make sure you use that kind of toward the end of your blog post. Use it maybe once or twice. You don't have to go crazy, and put that in there and link it to something else on the inside of your website. So that's a good keyword plan. The benefits of content and social media. Increase visibility right away. It's a long-term building and establishment of your brand. This is not going to get you leads in 10 minutes. It is not going to happen. This is how we establish ourselves and establish our brand over years and years. And this content never goes away. It stays with you. If you don't use that writer anymore, it doesn't matter, because that content is yours forever, and it's going to stay there, and it's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to move its way up the Google ladder. So this is a great long-term strategy. You can be found everywhere if you do this right. Some people might say to you, man, you're everywhere. Every time I turn around, I see your video, I see your blog post, I see your newsletter, I see this, I see that. You're everywhere. That's what you want to hear. And it helps you avoid follow-up failure. So when you have a newsletter that goes out every single month, all those leads that have come in are going to still get that newsletter. So you're top of mind once a month, and that increases your revenue over time. All right, let's move on. Blog post. Oh, crazy. Blog posting. Okay, so we already talked about this. I'm just showing you a couple pictures of what a blog post looks like, which you all probably know by now. Simple, easy, your name at the top or your company name, but hopefully you. Top keyword priorities, 500 plus words. I usually go with 500 to 600 words. I know that an SEO person is going to tell you, oh no, they must be 1,200 to 1,700 words, or you're not going to get anywhere. Not true. We're using some of this for engagement as well. So if you have a catchy title and people are going to your website and they're viewing your content, especially like Caregiver of the Month, people are constantly going to your website to see those pictures. We all love a good picture. So you do not have to write a dissertation in order to get attention on your website and have those blog posts mean something. I love 400 words or more. Google does have some limitations, but we always tell people, if you can just provide us with 4 sentences and a picture for your company news, that's good enough for us. We, on the other hand, when we write an article, it's always way longer than that. But for small, short things, you don't have to worry about that. Optimize for your keywords, submit company news, and write an article with your local referral partner. So if an assisted living, maybe you can do a little write-up about them, and in turn, they can do a little write-up about you on their website. So there's always opportunities to share. All right, let's talk about Facebook for a minute. And I promise you that I will take questions at the end. If you have a question, there's a Q&A section. I see about 8 questions in there right now. If you have a question about anything, go to your little Q&A thing in your little dashboard and be sure that you put in your question, because I'm going to read them in the order they are received. Don't wait till the end. Facebook management. All right, here's the goal. You want to build a targeted audience. Do not buy Facebook likes on Fiverr. I've seen people do that. I go to their Facebook business page. They're going to be a client soon, and I see they have 15,000 likes on their Facebook business page. Red flag. No. I know that if I look at where those people came from, they are 100% in Malaysia. And you are not getting any clients in Malaysia. So that was a big waste of your $100 or whatever you paid for those clicks. Don't do that. No, no, no. Facebook isn't stupid. So what we do is and also everybody's loving Facebook right now. I know it, but that's where your target market is. So just go with it. Go with it, Facebook. You may hate Facebook right now. You may hate Facebook all the time. You may hate Facebook for your whole life. But your demographic is on Facebook, and it gets older by the day. People love pictures of their grandkids. They love pictures of their nieces and nephews and the little babies and the blah, blah, blah. So aside from all the dramatics and all the crazy crap that goes on in our world, people are on Facebook because they love seeing their families. And in with that, they're going to see your stuff if it's something that they've liked over the last few months. So pardon me. So having said that, Facebook does not give likes away for free. You want to build your fan base. Nobody's going to do that unless you pay for likes. So I want a lot of people in a 50-mile radius of my office to like my Facebook business page, because when I post on my Facebook business page, I want them to see it. And they won't see it if they haven't liked my page. So if you can shell out $100 a month, which is what we ask our clients to Facebook, we set up this little cute ad that asks you to like our page, and here's what we do, and blah, blah, blah. And you get likes. You get likes. All month long, you get likes. And it's not people in Malaysia. It's people in a 50-mile radius of your office. And why do I say 50 miles? That might be too big for you. It could be 30 miles. But 50, because we know kids don't always live right there in town, right next door to their mom and dad. They might live in the suburbs or way out. So $100 a month, you can spend that and get 40, 50, 60, 70 likes, depending on where you are. It gets more expensive all the time, so whatever. But that helps build your Facebook audience. And then when you publish things like these cute little posts here. You can see this one. So cute. We have a graphic designer who designs all of these. They put our clients' information on them. We use like a huge variety of diverse photos. And we take what we do is we take the verbiage off of your website. So that's another reason why you should update your website. We take the verbiage off of your website and we give those words. These are words that come right from your website, statements, your services, what you do, your mission, your vision, your values. When we do that, we give it to the graphic designer and they come up with all these cool images that you can post on Facebook, or actually in our case, we post on Facebook. So what you can do is go on, I recommend bigstockphoto.com, bigstockphoto.com. It's cheaper than anything else. And you go on there, and there's also some free ones, but be very careful. Be careful. You can go on Big Stock Photo, buy some images of seniors, and then you don't have to hire a graphic artist to do this. You can like use what do we use? PicMonkey. PicMonkey. Isn't that what it is? Anyway, we put the logo on there, put a phrase on there, your phone number, and then go for it. You don't have to have super fancy stuff. But when a graphic artist does it, it is pretty cute. And then at the top of the post, what we do is we put something that talks about who they are, what they do, their phone number, and their website. At a minimum, their phone number. And we also usually include some hashtags somewhere. And then we post that. And that is a great attention getter. And it also gives people, and you can also use these as boosted posts. If you don't know what a boosted post is, for $5, you can boost a post to a 50-mile radius of your office for 5 days. It's $1 a day is the minimum. So for $5, you can get your post out to however many people in a 50-mile radius and get even more branding out there. It doesn't have to be really, really, really expensive. You can do this cheaply and you can do it yourself. All right. So that is Facebook management. Consistent monthly newsletter. Please believe me when I say this does work. I want you to look at these 3 newsletters right here. These 2, the first 2 kind of to the left, those don't have company news at the top because they didn't turn in company news that week, which is fine. Some of them do all the time and some of them do sporadically. This one up here at the top right is one that did turn in company news. And so you can see how we position that. This is congratulations, Jacqueline, on receiving a caregiver award. And you can see how nice that looks. And if you click on the read more button, which is kind of hidden here, then it takes you right to that article on their website. Build the biggest email list you can possibly build. Do it. Go get those business cards out of your purse, off your desk, whatever you got to do. Get those business cards, get those email addresses, and build the biggest list you can and send that monthly newsletter. Make that one of the top priorities. If you can't get out that door to go visit with somebody, you can put them on your monthly newsletter list. There's no excuses for that. You got a little extra time on your hand if you went out there beating the street, so you should be able to do this. All right? And we just take all the blog posts in the last 30 days off their website that most of the time we've posted for them, and we put that into a nice little newsletter and boom, send it out to all of their prospects that are on their newsletter list. And they do get replies that are not rude. They get, thank you so much. Beautiful newsletter. Thank you. Oh, you always do such a great job on this. La, 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 la. People love it. Yes, you should do it. It keeps you top of mind. Okay, strategic positioning on ApprovedSeniorNetwork.com. Okay, you can do this on any of a million directory sites. ApprovedSeniorNetwork.com is one that we own. Absolutely. You can go there and put up a free listing today if you want to. Today, you can put a free listing. You should have a free listing on any directory site that within reason that is in your wheelhouse. So yes, go there and put up your free listing right today. If you go to ApprovedSeniorNetwork.com, it says home care agencies get listed today. All you do is click on that. There's a free option. Do it. If you're one of our clients, you get promoted to an expert listing, which is what you actually are seeing right in front of you is an expert style listing. So that happens if you're our client, but anybody can use this to their advantage. So please, every directory that you want to be on, go do it, or tell somebody in the office to do it. Make a list for them. Care.com, caring.com, or Approved Senior Network. These are all citations. They're all backlinks to your website, and they're all good for visibility in some regard. So please put your listing out there in as many places as you can. Now, if this points out all the expert level issues that you can, things that you can do. You can choose up to 25 services. The feed from your blog comes in, reviews and testimonials, instant lead form, 30 service areas, job openings, additional offices. But on the free version, you get a lot of stuff too. So go ahead and get that free listing if you want to and enjoy it. I mean, it's not going to go gangbusters because it's a free listing, but hey, it's another place where you can get your business out there. We do get a ton of traffic, so please list yourself. Google ad leads, Google ads, pay-per-click. Okay, benefits of Google PPC, Google Ads. Oh my gosh, for years and years I've said, don't do it. Don't do it. It sucks. So then COVID hit and I was like, oh, let's see what we can do here. Okay, so then we started and we hired someone who is a 15-year veteran of pay-per-click, and he's doing a great job with our campaigns. And here's what I've learned. Well, let's talk about the benefits. It does increase your visibility instantly. Quick leads, yes, but there is some optimization to be done. It's not usually, oh, I got a lead 2 seconds after you turn the ad on. It doesn't quite work that way anymore. It used to, it doesn't anymore. But it is temporary and it is not long lasting. So whereas before with content, I'm talking to you about building your empire and it lasts for years. When you turn this off, it's gone forever. There is no residual. There is nothing left of it. There's no building of anything. You may have a few extra leads, but if you just dabble in it and you turn it on, you turn it off, and you turn it on, you turn it off, just don't do it. But if you have the money to be consistent and leave it on and have a professional optimize it, it is definitely one that can get you more leads. You're going to buy leads at KarenHolmes.com. You might as well run your own Google ad leads and get them there. So paid traffic is what you're looking at here. Landing page, lead capture, lead follow-up, and retargeting. Retargeting means if someone saw your site one time, we're going to target them again and send that ad to them over and over and over again. Sample Google ads. Here's a couple of samples. They're not anything you haven't already seen. You could go right now to Google and Google home care, your city, your state, whatever that is, and you'll see tons of Google ads. Anything with a little green ad by it means it's a paid advertisement. We have narrowed our campaigns down to about 300 keyword phrases. We started at 2,000, quickly narrowed it down to about 300 that actually work. And we have about 100 negative keyword phrases in our system because everybody's a little different. So the state of California, for instance, y'all are very different. You have a lot of, there's a couple of services that are for seniors who are, low income, and that's great. But those typically in a private pay situation aren't the leads you're looking for, right? So we have to take that entire program. People type in IHSS all the time, different versions of IHSS, which is the California in-home senior service, whatever it is. They type it in different ways all the time. So we have to do 1,000 versions of negative keywords for IHSS in the state of California. And every state has something like that pretty much that we have to do that for. Also for caregivers, for job seekers. You're not paying for these ads to attract job seekers. They're still going to get through. They're still going to see your ads. But the more negative keyword phrases we have in there from years of experience, the more we can block them from seeing your ads so that you're not wasting your money on job seekers. So we definitely do that. So that's why there's 100 plus negative keyword phrases. You also do not need senior housing if you're not in senior housing. You do not want low-income senior apartments if you're a home care agency. All of those things that people type in, all the different things that they might type in, we have to take into consideration and use negative keywords when necessary. And my family's home, so you're going to see them talking to me. Okay, sample landing page. So what we do is we do not drive traffic straight to your website. It depends on we don't. We don't drive traffic to your website because in the case of Google Ads, we have a very, very short chance to get that person to take an action. And we don't want to distract them with a bunch of links and a bunch of junk and a bunch of text. The most beautiful websites of all time are great. But when it comes to paid advertising, you need to narrow it down to bam, this is it. So a phone number and a form, that is all they should be able to click on, nothing else. There should never be a whole set of navigation and a whole set of junk they can click on. Phone number and a form, boom, that's all. And so we do run these to a landing page, which is fine. This is the mobile version over here. This is the desktop version. Most people are in mobile. We ask several questions. So if you've ever looked at the Karen Holmes kind of forms, you'll see they ask zip code where care is needed, and then they're going to ask, who needs care, how old are they, male or female, they just go through a series of questions. This does the same thing. So you get more than just call me and the name. So here's a sample lead from our Google PPC program. Anybody who sets this up could do this for you. So you get the zip code, who needs care, how old is the person who needs care, how many hours of care per week is needed. We just asked them to estimate. How do you plan on paying for home care? That's interesting. We do ask that question because we want you to know when this lead comes in, if they think, and we do put Medicaid in as a negative keyword phrase and Medicare for private duty home care agencies, but we want you to know what their mind is thinking, because we know consumers are very confused about how home care is paid for. It's normal for them to be confused about that. So we want you to know what's on their mind with regard to that. Some people put private pay, but some people put Medicaid. So you got to know before you make that phone call what you're kind of dealing with. Then their first name, their last name, their email address, you get their phone number. How would you like to be reached? Sometimes we ask this, sometimes we don't, because frankly, you're going to reach out to them right away. At the bottom of this form, you can see that we know what they typed in. They had some form of elder care was what and this was paid search, and you can see the keyword was elder care. So this is the kind of lead that our folks get. Your person who does PPC can do this for you too. And it is instantly emailed to our clients when this comes in, but also can be texted to them if they want. Both, one, we don't care, whatever they want. That way, the person who's responsible for following up with this has that instant information about this person and can call them right now. So that is what I recommend for Google Ads. If you're doing them, please have them professionally managed. And please, please, please make sure those leads come to you instantly. So here's the process that a person goes through if they see ours that we run. The lead clicks on a Google ad. They're sent to a branded landing page like I just showed you. They either make a call or they fill out a form. The lead info is sent to you, meaning you, the home care agency owner, assisted living facility owner, instantly. The lead also receives a text and an email instantly that says, thank you. And the reason they receive a text at least one time is because they are usually on their phone doing this. So we just want to reach out to them where they are right then and there. We text them. We say, thank you so much. Somebody will be with you as soon as possible. Because if it is 11 o'clock at night or midnight or whatever, then you might not be calling them back till the next morning. But we want them to know right now that we got their information and that someone will be reaching out. Then we add that lead to a 30-day email drip campaign. So for 30 days, we drip on them every 3 days with a series of 10 emails. And they're all frequently asked questions about home care or assisted living or whatever you're doing. It is a welcome with information about you and then your business. And then after that, it just, are you a caregiver? Are you a family caregiver? What is respite care? And it just goes through these different questions. How do families pay for home care? So there's like 10 of those emails, which you can modify. But we send those 10 emails out over 30 days. And if that person, meaning you, the home care agency, is in one of our programs, we add that person automatically to the monthly newsletter. So if you're doing this on your own, you're going to want to make sure whatever process they go through, definitely make sure there's a text or an email sent to them instantly. And if you have the opportunity to add them to some kind of drip campaign, an email, not text, but an email campaign, do that. And if you have a monthly newsletter, make sure they're automatically added to that newsletter. So if they don't pull the trigger now, they're on the sidewalk, they haven't gotten to the fast lane yet, you are still on their mind every time they receive that email. All right, let's talk recruiting. Woo, dog. Bad news. Challenges that we understand. There are not enough caregivers. There are no shows for interviews. There are no shows for orientation. There are no shows for paperwork. And there are no shows for hours. Y'all, this is the hardest part of this whole business right here. It's crazy. So here's what I recommend that you do. Find a way to automate as much of this as possible. And yes, there are systems that will automate this from the beginning to the end with a little bit of human interaction in between. And that takes the stress off of your HR person. It takes the stress off of you if you are the HR person. we have found that increasing job seeker, I'm sorry, if you increase the automation behind getting job seekers in your world, in your web, then you don't have to do the chasing anymore. It takes the pressure off you on the front end. Yes, you still have to interview them. Yes, you still have to get their documents. Yes, you still have to get them to fill out stuff. But you can today in 2021 automate a lot of this process. You can bug the crap out of these people and they will either take an action or they will not take an action. And if they don't take an action, by the time you've bugged them automatically, not you, but your automation has bugged them, bye-bye, bye-bye. You don't need them anymore. You move on to the person who is taking an action, who did schedule their phone interview, who did come in for their interview in person. You focus on those people. If the people that are just now coming in the door are just now coming into your web and your world, don't take an action after you've reminded them or your system has reminded them several times. Move on. Move on, sister. So that's what we do. We have created an automation system that takes the pressure off of that gathering of job seekers and gets them to schedule their own appointments, reminds the heck out of them about those appointments, reminds the heck out of them about that documentation, reminds the heck out of them about the time of their scheduled interview. And if they don't take an action or don't show up or don't do their thing, move on to the next person. There's many, many, many lined up. So that's what I'm going to recommend to you. Recruiting, we use social media, job ads, traffic, landing pages, job seeker capture landing pages, job seeker follow-up. The follow-up is insane, but we automate it so our people are not going crazy. And then, of course, we retarget ads. We typically do this through Facebook. However, and I'm going to show you our process, and you can copy off of this. It might not be exactly the way we do it, but you might get some good nuggets out of this. Again, if you have questions, by the way, go to the Q&A section and put your question in there. So I'll go through them in the order received. Here's how we do it. We place ads for caregivers, RNs, LPNs, CNAs, HHAs, whatever. You use your current system. We can do Facebook ads for $150 a month. Or up to $300 a month. We usually don't have to go over $300 a month for job recruiting ads on Facebook. And there's a reason why Facebook works differently than Indeed. You can get good candidates from both if you dig hard enough, but Facebook has a little bit more intention. And Indeed can be those people who, have you ever had somebody who constantly is filling out your applications but never makes an appointment? It's because they might be playing that unemployment game. Mm-hmm. Your employment counselor needs to see proof that they're applying for jobs, right? So they just keep filling it out. Anyway, that happens a lot on Indeed. So Facebook doesn't happen that much. So they have more intention if they see your ad. So we like it. It works good. Anyway. Candidates answer the ad and they answer a few qualifying questions. You all know the deal. There's some deal breaker questions. For each of you, it's different. Some people require a car. Some people don't. Some people require a New Jersey CHHA or a New York CHHA. Some people don't. It depends on your state. Depends on your rules. It depends on you. So whatever those deal breaker questions are, that's what we put in the Facebook just 2 or 3 little questions. And then beep, as soon as they answer that Facebook ad, they zip right into our little CRM and they get a text, an email, and a voice drop. What's a voice drop? A voice drop is a voicemail. And what it says is, "Hi, this is ABC Home Care. We're so happy that you're excited about working for us. If you could please check your text and email now, we'll be able to take you on to the next step." And they do it. They do it. What? So what we do is with the voicemail drop, your phone doesn't ring. It's just all of a sudden you got a voicemail and you're like, where did that come from? It's called a voicemail drop. It's a secret. And what happens is, though, that puts like a human voice to this whole automated process. So they know there's somebody out there. So text, email, and voice drop. The candidate self-schedules their interview time. You approve it or you let it auto-approve. We walk through all this stuff. The candidate is then sent reminders 1 day, 1 hour, and 15 minutes before their interview. If they don't show up, they out. The best candidates self-identify by booking an appointment with you and fast-track their path to employment, saving you valuable time. So all these people start up, all this noise up here, blah, 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 blah. They all start up, they answer a few questions, they self-schedule their interview, and then a few people trickle out the end that are hired. So it's a numbers game, volume, 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 volume. Ring! Out the end comes a few really good candidates that actually did everything they were supposed to do, and they're happy employees. Oops. Oh, here we go. So here's another view of some kind of how this works. You have all these places where you can get folks coming in from: Facebook, Indeed, Google, Glassdoor, Hireology, ZipRecruiter, Craigslist, and we shovel them all into our CRM to this automation. On day one, they get that welcome and hi, voicemail drop, email and text. And then if they take an action, they go to a short qualifying application, then they can schedule their interview. If they do not take an action, we bug them on day 2 to take an action. We bug them on day 3 to take an action. We bug them on day 4 to take an action. If they take an action on any one of these days, we stop bugging them. If they do not take an action, we bug them for 4 days straight. And that means that your folks do not have to do outreach to these people who fill out a form and never are going to answer them. What a waste of time that is. Bug, 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 bug. And if they do fill out that short qualifying application, great. And then they self-schedule their interview. And then they get more voicemail drops and text reminders about their interview. If they don't show up, see ya. Moving on. We got more people in the pipeline. So this pipeline just keeps going and going and going. And you always got people scheduling interviews, and those who show up are the ones on your list. And then they need to be reminded to just turn in their documentation, so we can do that. Then they need to be reminded to show up for orientation, and we can do that. Some of you have shorted the process really down to just tight, and we work with that. Some of you have a long process, we work with that. So if you can automate this front end and take that huge hassle factor off of the shoulders of whoever is responsible for getting these people in the door, then you have won the day. So that is how we do recruiting. You can do it that way too. You just have to make sure you're all hooked up with automation. And it doesn't matter where your recruits come from or what you're paying for, they can always go into that automation. Let's talk about Google My Business. Google My Business is really important. If you don't have a Google My Business listing or you don't know who owns it, get your Google My Business listing into your ownership today. You should not have somebody else owning your Google My Business. You should not be a manager of your Google My Business. If you own your business, you should be the owner of your Google My Business listing. It's that important. You can make other people managers of it, but you should own it. Keywords, social media, traffic, lead capture, reputation, and citations are all important in Google My Business. So, benefits of optimizing your Google My Business page. It increases visibility specifically on Google, long-term building and establishment of brand. This is another long-term thing. Google My Business doesn't need to be paid. You do not have to pay for Google My Business. They will always try to get you to pay for ads on Google My Business. You don't have to do that. Just need to make sure your listing is optimized and you add to it once in a while and you're good. Reputation enhancement and SEO are important. You want to get as many as you can, as many reviews as you can. This checklist is available on our website for free. You can download it. It'll tell you everything you need to know about optimizing your Google My Business listing. Please go to asnmarketingplan.com or search Google Enhanced Marketing Checklist or whatever it is, and you'll be able to find it on there. It's under the GEM program. Getting more reviews and testimonials. Okay, this is another one that's hard for everybody. Reputation management. You need to take control of this. I know it's hard, but here's another thing that you should know. If you automate this process, it's less nervy for you. Like, I don't want to ask them for a review. That's, I know they're happy, but I feel like I'm imposing. I will send you a little form. You fill it out and let the system take over from there. And you do not need to worry about it anymore. Don't worry about this. And don't pay out the wazoo for this kind of stuff. So automation, social media, review sites, follow-up, triage, and customer service, all very important. So let's talk about what we do and what you can do. Benefits of reputation management. If you use automation, just like for recruiting, it speeds up this process of getting more reviews. Getting reviews on multiple platforms is important. I know everybody wants Google reviews. I get it, but some people just will not do it. If they don't have a Google account, they will never create one just to leave you a review for 2 seconds. It isn't going to happen. So getting reviews on multiple platforms is important. It does enhance your reputation. And of course, you get more business if you have more great reviews. So here is what you should be able to do. You should be able to get more reviews with automation. And you should be able to get reviews on the platforms that you choose, not that some other company chooses, but the ones you want to get reviews on. If you go with, okay, see at the bottom here, this 3 places, get more reviews, podium.com, Rate Me, Reputation Stacker, Bird Eye, Grade Up. I mean, there's a million of them out there. They don't let you pick. They let you pick within reason some of the ones you want to maybe get reviews on, but they're not going to add care.com to that list, or caring.com, or Senior Advisor. They don't do that, or Approved Senior Network, because they are industry specific places. In our world, you should be able to get a review on any platform you want. I tend to say keep it simple, but if you want to get a review on something weird that I don't know about, God love you, give me the link to it and we'll put it in your review system. So here's what happens. You choose the platforms that you want to get reviews from. And then you send us a list of people that you want to get reviews from, or you can enter them one at a time, anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the system sends them a review request for you. It'll send it 3 times over the course of 10 days. So we're not bugging them endlessly every day. It sends them 3 kind, respectful requests for a review. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. If the more requests for reviews you send out, the better. Let me see if I did this whole triage thing in here. No. All right. So the other thing is triaging those reviews. So when you send out a request for a review, let's say you think Tom Jones is really happy right now. And it turns out he had a really crappy day and he's mad. And he's going to leave you a 3-star review. Well, when he goes to this review request that you've just sent him through email, or that system has sent him, he might pick a 3-star review because he's mad at your caregiver for some reason today. And he hasn't talked to anybody yet. Well, in our world, what happens is we don't send him on to the review sites. We don't just send him a, hey, could you review me on Google, and give him the link. We say, how would you rate our service? And he picks. I say 3 stars. The system doesn't send him on to the review site. It pops up a little form and it says, how can we serve you better? Right? So you just triaged it. You haven't sent him on to your amazing review sites to get a 3-star review. What you've done is said, whoop, hold up, what happened? And you're giving him a chance to explain that. And if he explains that, then that email is sent to you, and you as the customer service person or the owner or the manager or whoever can follow up and find out why Tom Jones is having a bad day. You don't need to send him on to give you a 3-star review because he's mad for 5 minutes. Take him off the list and send it again next month or something like that. So if they leave if they say, oh, I give them 4 stars or 5 stars, then we do send them on to your to pick from any of these that they want to leave a review on. If they pick Google, God love you, they're going to give you a Google review. If they pick Facebook, they're going to leave you a recommendation. If they pick Approved Senior Network, they don't have to create, and I don't know about care.com or caring.com, but they do not have to make an account. They just leave the review. And in our case, that review sits in a queue and you have to approve it before it goes live, or we can approve it for you if it's a kind review. So it's not a risk on Approved Senior Network at all. Caring.com and care.com, I'm not sure how the rest of these work. I think Senior Advisor, you can decide if you want it to go live. I don't know about Angie's List, but these are some of the ones that people choose in the senior care space a lot. And anything that you can think of is viable for this system. It's a very automated process, and we do this for a lot of our clients. All right, so everything we talked about today can be done by you, your web developer, your team, whoever you have on board. But I always say, ask yourself, will I take these actions by myself? Do I have the time? Do we have the time? What is the time worth? And is it cheaper to hire someone else out to do these tasks? Maybe it's cheaper. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not the person that can determine that. But if you go to our website at ASN Marketing Plan, no, there are no prices there because, yes, you have to speak with Bob. We don't publish our pricing. As you can imagine, we have a little bit of competition. Websites. So you want to go to senior care websites. For content and social media, we call that our SCOPE program. For Google Ads, we call it our Skip Care program. For recruiting, we call it Skip Recruiting. For Google My Business, we call it the GEM program. And that's the where you can get that free checklist. And for reputation management, we call that our Senior Service Reviews program. We've called it that for years. All of these things are available at asnmarketingplan.com. You can go there, check it out, see what's all included in it. Everything I just talked to you about is included. And then you can talk to us if you want to about any of this pricing. We'll be happy to share it with you fast, but we just don't publish it. All right. If you want more information, the easiest thing to do is to go to asnmarketingplan.com/contact-us. Contact-us. Okay. Woo. Dog, what time is it? Oh my gosh, we're so over. Okay, Q&A. Here we go. How do I make this little thing pop up here? Q&A. Here we are. Let's do it. Oh, here, maybe I need to get out of here. Hold on a second. There we go. Why is it not letting me do anything? Please let me go to Q&A. I want to open this now. All right, we're going to go to chat. Funny how it's not showing me the Q&A. Geek. Q&A. All right, so we're going to start right here. Here we go. This is so helpful. You guys are great. Thank you, Christina. Okay. Is there a certain way or rules to use hashtags? Here's what I would say about hashtags. I mentioned this back when we were talking about social media. If you want to use hashtags, use ones that are commonly used. You can use your own. You can make up your own. But if you make up one that is hashtag ABC Home Care, the challenge is that ABC Home Care is not a hashtag anybody knows, so they're not going to search by it. So it's okay to have your own hashtag, but you want to use senior care. I find that using your city, the city that you serve or county that you serve, will also get more usage. So if you say hashtag home care, hashtag, if you're in Glendale, California, hashtag Glendale, that helps a lot. So use maybe one or two that are specific to you, but also use ones that are commonly known, and that will help a lot. I've been sending monthly newsletters to my professional contacts for the last 4 years, give or take. It not only helps people remember us, but it consistently provides same-day referrals. Thank you so much, Jennifer Openshaw O'Brien. I appreciate that. You're right. It is definitely a revenue generator. Please consider sending out a monthly newsletter. Can we see a registration position page for Approved Senior Network? What does a free listing look like? Oh, and if you just go to approvedseniornetwork.com, there's a little thing at the top, and then you can read all about it. I didn't put it on the PowerPoint, but you can read all about it. It looks pretty much the same as the one that's at the expert level. They just have more options. What are some PPC stats that we should be striving to reach? That is a crazy good question. So PPC stats means that, by the way, I cannot get into this Q&A for some reason. Let me see if, wait a minute, let me get rid of this. Maybe it's behind here and I just can't see it. Let's see. Q&A, there's no Q&A. Let's see, let's go over here. Wait, see? Oh, there it is. Yay. Okay. PPC stats that we should be striving to reach. Okay. Cost per click is going to vary for every single person that is on this call. So it might be in Los Angeles, California, the cost per click is going to be huge. In Manhattan, it's going to be huge. But if you're in West Winnemucca, Nevada, it's going to be really low. So it depends on where you are and the competition level that you have there. So it's hard for me to give you specific stats. But I would say that if you're spending $1,000 a month on PPC, you should be getting 5 to 10 leads per month. I mean, that's, there's so many things that that's dependent on, but that's, I don't know, a good range, I guess. How do you engage caregivers who aren't currently taking care of a client? How do you engage caregivers who aren't currently taking care of a client? How do you engage? So you're looking to engage with caregivers who are already employed by you or not employed by you. I don't know, just reach out to them. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't understand that question. What would be a monthly budget for automating the recruiting system? Oh, if a monthly budget for recruiting, it depends on what kind of paid advertising you do or don't want to do. We ask for people to spend 150 to 300 a month on Google ads. And Facebook ads. And if you are in a pretty easy market, then 150 will be plenty. If you're in a harder market like Manhattan, then 300 a month would be definitely a better budget. But other than that, then be the fee that we charge on top of that. And if you want to know more about that, you can go to that contact us page on our website and we'll send you the pricing. I don't say it here either because people pass this around a million times. What is the comprehensive package called? Comprehensive package would be something like Google, our Scope program. We have lots of different programs. If you wanted all of them together, there usually is a discount associated with that. So I would go to I would fill out the contact us form. I hate to keep saying that, but I'm not going to say pricing here. But Scope is our big program that's the content program that most people go with. All right, I'm going to go through the Q&A here now that I can get it open. What is your best suggestion for doing video tours? Ann Keithley. I would say you can do it is you can hire somebody professionally like they would do for real estate to do a video tour for you. That's actually the best way to do a video tour is to have a professional come in and video the place. They have all kinds of different equipment that they can use. And it's just like seeing a video tour of a house for sale. I would recommend that. If you're going to do it yourself, I would do, it would almost be better to take a picture of the main entryway. Take a picture and then put all the pictures. Take a picture of a nice room. Take a picture of the dining room when it's all made up and there's nobody in there. Take a picture of the different rooms and then put it like use Animoto and do a slideshow of all the different rooms. It's not exactly a video tour, but you're not getting a resident's face in the video, which might be a good thing. And you're still giving people a sense of walking through the place. So there's expensive options, which is hiring a videographer who does this for a living. And there's the easy option, which is to go around and take pictures of all the different things you want people to see. Yes, this is being recorded. Are we still using Facebook as ongoing marketing source, or has that stopped being effective? I don't think that Facebook, it still works in some regards for marketing. We're not talking about recruiting here. We're talking about just getting leads. It's a different animal. I think Google's definitely a better outreach at the moment, but it's not to say that Facebook doesn't work. It's just a lot more complicated and probably a lot more expensive than what we've been spending in the past. Let's see. Please share more creative ways for outreach besides flowers. Okay, creative outreach. You know what we can do is, first of all, if you go to Pinterest and you Google leave behinds, Leave, behinds, and look at what real estate agents do. I know that's the second time I've referred to real estate agents, but they are super creative with what they mail and what they leave behind. And they're so funny, some of these things. And these are dollar store items. So if you know that you want to go around to 5 other different assisted living facilities or home care agencies, and you want to leave them a little something, and you're not supposed to be spending a bunch of money on all this stuff, but you can go and buy 10 little knickknacks at the dollar store, and just put a little saying on there, a little card attached to it with your business card, and put a little thank you note on it. There are some super cute ideas, leave behinds on Pinterest. There are thousands of them. And for every holiday, for every season, those are great ways to do some creative outreach. So you can't go into other places, but you can put them in at the dollar store, a giant bucket, like a plastic bucket, and put your logo or put your sticker on it or your logo or whatever on it and just let them know at the front desk know you're coming and you're leaving behind a goodie basket for the key staff members or for somebody, if you know their name, to hand out or whatever. At the beginning of COVID, a lot of people were doing care baskets with gloves and masks and hand sanitizer in them because everybody was struggling to find stuff. Now it might be better to do some snacks or healthy snacks or, little dollar store items that just say, I'm thinking about you, or thank you for what you do. You're so brave. Those kinds of things go a long way. Do you have any direct contacts for Medicare Advantage in the San Francisco Bay Area? No, I'm sorry, I do not. I do not have any contacts for that. What about Vistaprint for the website? That's sort of like Squarespace, Wix, Weebly. Vistaprint's along the same lines. Not a big fan. I love Vistaprint cheap business cards and stickers and things like that. I love Vistaprint, but I've never been a fan of it for websites. And I know they've been doing that for years, and that's okay. You do what you got to do when you're a startup. But once you've been in business for a year or two, you should be able to move on up to the real deal. And I'm not saying you need to spend $10,000 on a website either. I'm just saying $299 ain't gonna get it. Can you please show us a sample of a website you've worked on? Yeah, those were in the presentation. So if you go to asnmarketingplan.com, you can go to our website page and see tons of examples. Should you invest in Facebook ads and boost posts? I would do that if I had the funds. I would do $100 a month on likes, and then I would do, be selective on the posts that you boost. Don't spend $10 on every willy-nilly post. Pick ones that have a call to action, like those images I showed you. Those are great for boosting because they have your phone number. They tell you what to do, how to contact you. They have your website and they're branded to you. Those are great ones to boost, or a video or something like that. But don't pick every willy-nilly one, especially if it's a link to someone else's website, like a news article or something. Don't boost those. Do something that has to do with you. If you have over a 50-mile radius for service, would you recommend having a separate Facebook page for other service areas? Maybe. If you have another office location, it depends on your organization. We have organizations that have multiple office locations. Like, say, California is a good example. Long state, they have a Northern California office, a Southern California office. If it's that far away, yes, I would have 2 different Facebook pages. If you're in a big territory in California or any state for that matter, and you have 3 very well-run offices that have 3 very active marketing people, then you can probably have your separate Facebook pages. But if you're a brand and you're just in 3 places, which is fine, which is a lot, and you know that it's better served if you just kind of have one big Facebook page for everybody, even though you're serving a big area, it's okay to have one. It really is a matter of how you manage your organization. If everybody knows that if people call this one toll-free number, that office is very aware that they need to forward the call to so-and-so's office because that's where they would be served. If you're all in on this, then you know you have one Facebook page and everybody's contributing to it. That's awesome. It's so much easier. But if you're really, really far apart, then you might consider more than one. What are PPC stats? Oh, you already asked me that. Will we be able to share this recording? I will share the recording with everybody. Yes. Can this video be played later? Yes. Can we get the recording? Yes. Is there any correlation to the caregivers that are no call, no show for shifts that people had to be continuing bugs their hiring process? It seems like if we have always chased them, they may not be a good hire. I would agree with you. There are some correlations there. If we chase them 4 times and they don't take an action by the 4th time, we chase them for 4 days with a text and an email. Well, the first time with a voicemail, text, and email. And then if they don't do anything after 4 days, they are marked and tagged in our system with the word stagnant. And so, if they come back through that system and they're tagged with stagnant, what happened, So they may not be a very good hire. It doesn't always mean that they're, we have a lot of people, I think, that are in a position where they're about to get another job, and I know I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt and I shouldn't maybe, but they're in a position where they're maybe have a job they're not happy with and something changes or I don't know. So there may be reasons why people don't answer, but typically if they don't answer after 4 times you've tried to follow up with them, I would mark them as a no way and move on. You're right. It could be a situation where they don't show up for a shift, but they also have to get through a whole lot of other hoops before they're hired. So if they get through all of those hoops, they may be worth the time. I don't know. The slide says asnmarketingland.com. Oh, the P. Thank you. Richard Lombardo, thank you. I'll make sure I correct my asnmarketingland.com. What are the best automation platforms you recommend? Well, I recommend the platform asnspark.com CRM. That's the only one I know of. I mean, I know there are others, but for what we do, I know that's what it is. So if you go to asnspark.com, you can read about our automation platform. You can read all about it and what we do through that platform. And there may be some, once you see ours, you may think, oh, this is kind of like blah, blah. And then you may be able to find another one. Can I get a copy of this to send my boss? Kathy, we are going to put this this video out to everybody, and you can share it with them. Do you provide blog content? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, somebody said, I'm kind of switching back and forth. Do you see a market for folks who do not want the COVID vaccine? Do you see a market for folks? I don't know how I would market to people who didn't want a COVID vaccine. That would hurt my heart. I know there are people out there that feel that way. I totally get it. I get it, but I don't get it. So for me, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know in the home care market if there are people you can market to who don't want the COVID vaccine. I know there are home care agencies who do not want to talk about it because they have a lot of people in their area who are not for it. And if that's the case, that's okay. I wouldn't talk about not getting it, but I just wouldn't talk about it at all. If I knew that a lot of people in my area felt strongly about not getting it, I just wouldn't talk about it. And you do, and everybody, you do you. You do you, you do you, you do you. But I don't know if there's a way to market and say, yeah, don't get it. I don't know. I can't, I don't know. So what we do talk about vaccines in our content, but we don't go crazy on, you got to go get your vaccine. Blah, blah, blah. We don't do that to our clients or for our clients. We just let them roll with their own message on that. Coming from 20 years in the real estate field, I guarantee getting a magnet on the fridge works. Yes, magnets are good too, and they're cheap. Vistaprint, law. Do you provide blog content? Absolutely, we do it all. We would love to provide your blog content. I would hesitate as a representative to market to non-COVID vaccine individuals. They would likely scare your base, which are for the vaccine. I would hesitate to represent. Yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I mean, everybody who is, we're going on to phase 1B right now. So 65 and older or pre-existing conditions are next on the list, along with some of our other first responders. So Oliver, I know there are a couple, but I don't see many that are not going for it. And I see more that are saying, we got our vaccine today, yay. So I know there's different areas of the country that are a little different. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. I don't have any more questions on my list. You all suffered through this with me for an hour and 30 minutes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I can't talk anymore. Thank you for all of your questions. You guys are great. We had such a great turnout for this. I hope to see you on the other side. I will be sending out this replay, and it will be posted on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and everywhere we can post it. Thanks so much, everybody. We hope to talk to you soon and hope we can do business with you someday. Thanks. Bye-bye.